libraries here, right? So we have our local files, which is going to be the files that we import in here. This allows us to import files in here, and they are going to be stored in here in this box here. Okay, now we also have a library here where you are going to be able to find things like, you know, black and white stickers and animation, and, you know, cutoffs, and, you know, cutout text, as well as, you know, some custom things here like New Year celebration. Okay, if we move over to the right here, you can see that in the middle we have a player. So this player is going to be what displays the video that we're gonna have on the timeline, or maybe it's an image. This is where it's gonna be shown. And on the far right side here, we also have our details, right? So if I edit the video in here, this is telling you the project settings here. Okay, so the project settings are gonna be displayed on here. If you look on the bottom here, this is where we have our timeline. This is where you are going to be able to add your videos, and right above it we have our toolbar where we have, you know, tools like this split mode and things like that. We're going to cover all of this, and there's also some undo and redo. These will activate as soon as I add a video here or image. Okay, now above here, if you go over to the right, you also have the ability to record a voiceover. You also have the ability to turn on and off the main track magnet, which is essentially, you know, when you split tracks, it's something that kind of like closes that gap. Okay, we also have turn off auto snapping. You also have you know, turn off linkage. There's also a lot of things you can turn off. Preview if it exists. So there's a lot of things you can you know, you can do here. There's a lot of tools that you have access to. It's very simple. You know where everything is. Once we add the video here, you are going to see some of these tools enabled, such as the aspect ratio or the size of this. One thing I wanted to show you guys is going to be the ability to change the layout. So let's say you don't like this layout here. If you go over to the menu here, you're going to be able to go to layout, which is the third option from the top. And as you can see right now, I'm using the default layout. Okay, there's a layout that's called media first, player first, adjustments first, timeline first. Okay, let's try media first. Media first looks like this. Okay, if I look over on my other screen here, it creates another window here, right? So if you have two screens, it's going to put it on another window. If not, it's going to be somewhere on the screen here. Okay, so this is where I'm going to be able to add my media file. So if you have two screens, you can move this to another screen where you are going to be able to just use that. Okay, and you can also drag it back into place here. Okay, so it's the same thing with other options here. So if I go to player first, it's going to pop out the player. So you can see I can bring it back. It went to the other screen like that. Okay, I can bring it back exactly where it's supposed to be by dragging it on here. Okay, we can go to menu, go to layout, we can go to adjustment first. This is going to do the same thing. So this is going to be the adjustment here. So another cool thing, like if you don't want to pop it back in like this, you can simply click this button here up here. Instead of full screen, you can click on restore. Restore is going to put it back where it's supposed to be. Okay, its default position. All right, so that is how you're going to be able to do this. Once you can also modify these project settings here by clicking modify. If you click on that, you're going to be able to change these project settings here. Okay, now we can start with the details here. So the name, you can change the name to whatever you want. I'm going to leave this default name. We also have a save location here. Now import material, you can keep the original place. You always want to do that, because that's just, if you click copy to project, if you lose your project, you're going to lose that material as well. So I always want to keep it in its original place. Okay, now we also have the ratio here. Ratio is going to be original. It's going to be the original of whatever content you put in here. So if you import a video that has a 16:9 ratio, that's what this is going to change it to. But if you set a default you know, ratio like a 16:9, whatever video you put in here, it is going to be recognized as 16:9. Okay, so you can set the defaults here if you want to do that. Now we also have the resolution. I'm gonna go ahead and click customize, where you can change the resolution yourself. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and do 1920 by 1080. You also have the frame rate. It goes all the way up to 60 FPS. You have the color space. I'm gonna leave this as a default. And you also have a free layer option. So you can turn on the free layer to modify the relationship between the tracks by changing the track position. Okay. free layer cannot be turned off after turned on. So I'm going to turn this off. And yeah, so you also have performance over here where you are going to be able to create proxies. Proxies allow you to edit, huge files without lagging. Okay, so if you turn on the proxy, it's going to allow you to speed up editing and the video quality won't be affected. But while you're editing, you might affect the quality of the video that's going to show on the player. But the actual outcome is going to be, the actual end result is going to be, if the video was really good graphics, 1920 by 1080, 60 fps, that is what you are going to get. But it lowers the quality while editing in order to allow you to edit faster without lagging the system. Okay, once you have a default settings here, go ahead and hit OK. See that it changes some of our settings here that we have. So you can always do this with, if you start a project, you are going to be able to change the default settings. Okay.